MP, très bien. Je sais plus si je devais monter le son du jeu ou pas. Je crois que normalement ça doit être bon. Au pire, je fermerai ma gueule. Eh bien, ouais, non, j'ai pas besoin de résumé parce qu'il va y avoir un résumé en début d'épisode, donc let's go.
Previously on Alan Wake, I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice!
Now, she's missing.
Alice? Alice?
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at, but the cabin had disappeared.
Putain, 3 ans avant, il avait exactement les mêmes fringues, quoi. Tête de fion.
Honey, I'm home.
On joue le flashback.
How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you up.
Il est quand même moche, hein. Pas de bashing sur le physique, mais bon, quand même. Putain, mais leur appart là. Bon, mis à part les livres là-haut qui sont chiants à attraper. Télé qui va venir là. Ça, j'ai jamais compris les salons où il y a la télé, genre. Enfin. Si je peux comprendre parce que genre le but c'est de parler entre nous et pas de regarder la télé, mais... Bref. Je digresse. Ah oui, vraiment ça le temps. Ils ont dit c'était où New York?
Hey, handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these shots are turning out great.
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
Ok, donc elle est photographe, j'imagine. Bon, attends, c'est méta, du coup je prends un manuscrit dans le flashback.
It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow while the lurid chain of scenes that had led me here kept playing in my head. A rerun of my own private snuff movie. A memory of my corpse. Alone at my own wake. Thinking in metaphors again. The femme fatale was gone. Only a sour taste remained of the kiss that killed me.
The fame fatale. Bon, je me moque, mais nous, les mots en anglais, on les prononce mal aussi, donc...
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Ok, charmant. Donc ça, The Sudden Stop, a priori c'est un de ses bouquins, non? Ah oui, The Sudden Stop, c'est son dernier bouquin. Encore un... Attends, mais du coup, Alan Wake, mais c'est marqué un Alex Casey thriller. Alex Casey, c'est qui? Ah, mais c'est peut-être le scénariste du jeu ou quelque chose comme ça. Bon, là il y a un autre QR code. J'ai oublié d'aller vérifier d'ailleurs le premier à quoi il correspondait. Salut Ashun. Mais il est beaucoup trop grand leur appart, ça me dégoûte.
The continuing freezing rain and heavy snowfall have necessitated a winter storm warning in the entire tri-state area. People are advised to stay indoors as many roadways are already closed, and city officials are not expecting snow crews to keep up with the weather. We're now on the third day of the blizzard, and the weather is not expected to clear up anytime soon.
Bon, ben allons faire ce qu'il a fait. Je suis sûr à 100% que le téléphone va sonner à un moment ou à un autre. Même pas il range les courses, hein, il vient de rentrer.
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
Insupportable les hétéros.
These look really good.
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time. Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
Alan?
Quoi?
Alan, please check the fuse box.
Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'elle est...
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
Elle a la phobie du noir.
Honey, it's a power outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay, hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
I know it's stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
C'est vrai qu'il y a zéro rideau dans leur truc. Hein. Bon après ils sont assez hauts mais... Il y a quand même des vis-à-vis en face.
Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff Breaker, is waiting for you. She's very good at her job. I'm sure she can locate your wife in no time.
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head.
C'est un médecin ou un pêcheur? Parce que... Ah, il se préparait à aller à la pêche, non?
I'm sorry you had to cut your morning
Oui,
fishing
d'accord.
short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a
Ah, mais je m'en fous.
Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
I believe you'll find the sheriff in her office. Just go down the corridor.
Pourquoi il y a des taches de sang sur le truc là? Ça me trigger, hein. Il y a tellement de jeux où les portes sont toutes... Genre elles s'ouvrent dans les deux sens là.
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now. Very good. I'll come back later on to remind you, just in case.
Merde, j'ai raté un dialogue.
Mr. Wake, the sheriff is waiting for you in her office down the corridor.
C'est pas elle qui est...
I guess you can call her the town eccentric. She used to be the editor of the local newspaper, but she's focused on, other things these days.
She'd fit right in where I come from.
As you can see, she's a little obsessed with maintaining the light bulbs of the whole town, refuses to step on shadows, things like that. Back in her day, she wrote about all sorts of weird things in the paper. Bright Falls has a colorful history. Of course, what small town hasn't?
Ok, mais ça a l'air d'être la personne la plus sensée du coin. Je crois que c'est elle qui nous avait averti au début quand on a reçu la clé de la vieille. Ah oui, donc même dans le monde réel, entre guillemets, on trouve des pages. Par contre, j'en ai raté deux.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
Yeah, it's Mulligan here. I'm at Stucky's gas station with Thornton. There's no sign of him. Over.
Wait. Yeah, this is Thornton. Look, we've located the parade float. It's here. That's some good news, right? Stucky was supposed to be driving it at the rehearsals today. Over.
Oh, give me that. Mulligan here. Looks like someone really thrashed the garage. Over.
Okay, roger that, guys. Keep looking for Stucky. Jane's out.
Bah ouais, mais Stucky, voilà quoi. Après, on s'est battu contre lui, genre il était un esprit chelou, mais peut-être que... Peut-être qu'il est pas vraiment mort. Il y a un trou dans la route et il y a une bouche d'égout qui l'évite. C'est très bizarre.
Sheriff Breaker is waiting for you down the corridor in her office.
Oh, c'est un chat. Ouais, du coup, on est plutôt le suspect principal, non? Vu qu'on a été retrouvé à l'endroit et que... que lui est introuvable.
Come in, Mr. Wake. Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
C'est gentil, mais...
Your phone, Mr. Wake?
Oui, ça va, détends-toi. Gentil, mais tu restes un flic.
Have you started looking for my wife
On n'aime
yet?
pas les flics
My
ici.
men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake?
How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
Ok.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
Ouais, on l'entend d'ici.
Quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Danny pretty badly. He started shouting like that the moment he woke up. You can get to the back lot through that door and down the corridor, Mr. Wake.
Thanks.
Beaucoup trop gentille, elle. Oui, non, mais c'est pas ça.
Pay no attention to Walter Snyder on your...
Elle ressemble à l'actrice de Arabesque.
Hey! Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the lights on? The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. I need it to be bright in here.
Bah, il a raison, c'est pas des conditions, ça. Vous pourriez pas allumer les lumières? Ah.
Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, sure, I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time. I only got drunk afterward. Okay, listen. You gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
Oula. Ben, je te crois, hein, gros. Si tu me dis que t'as vu un alien, c'est que t'as vu un alien, hein.
I told him, oh, yeah, well, I don't hear where on your...
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
Pendant ce temps, le ravisseur, il
Light
attend.
hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, "Go through the fence on the left."
Là-bas.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep. Just one more item before I go. It's been a busy night for the sheriff's department. We've had a few broken windows, even a report of shots fired on Main Street. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton had to deal with two intoxicated young men who were celebrating the completion of their Deer Fest float. Now, folks, we get this every year. I know it's exciting, the big day's almost here, but let's save it for the party and leave the gunplay for the shooting competition, huh? There's no point in getting all worked up yet.
The caller had told me to find a hole in the fence behind the police station. There was something for me in an abandoned car.
C'est là-bas. Pas m'empêcher de fouiller partout. De mettre 3 plombs. En même temps, j'en profite un peu parce qu'il fait jour et que personne peut m'attaquer là. Oh putain, la plante là, j'ai cru que c'était une trace de main avec les 5 doigts. C'est pas genre juste sous les yeux du bureau du shérif là?
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business. Barry?
Ow! Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Al, what the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Bon, je suis sûr qu'il y a un moment dans le jeu où on va revenir ici et il faudra activer ça et monter.
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Oui, ça grille carrément la télé. Donc en fait, genre, quand sa femme a disparu et qu'il a plongé dans l'eau, il y a eu l'ellipse d'une semaine. Pendant la semaine, en fait, il a écrit comme un... Il a écrit frénétiquement. Et du coup, les manuscrits qu'on trouve, c'est tout ce qu'il a écrit en une semaine. J'imagine. Après, pourquoi il a fait ça? Merde, j'ai hâte de couper les trucs.
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Ah oui, elle avait parlé de lui.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
Il me dit quelque chose, Barry. Je crois qu'il a été modélisé sur un acteur que je connais.
I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you. And she was very helpful when I was looking for you. Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy? And his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week. And someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
Je l'ai littéralement interrompu pour aller lire une plaque. Trop bien les peluches. Ah merde, il veut pas reprendre. C'est quoi ça, un puma?
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Oh, c'est un chien.
Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Ok, mais pourquoi t'as un piège à loup sur ton...
Okay, boy. We're almost done here.
Sur ton balcon.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No! This whole thing is... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble,
Le chien va bouffer là.
keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried.
Super.
We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know, I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went...
Ouais, mais il s'arrête jamais lui.
A guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one asked you to come here, Barry. Either work with me on this or go straight back to New York. Your choice.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be Deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission. You want to know where you can shove that flashlight?
Lock the door when I leave.
Yeah, you go ahead and do what you have to do. I'll be fine. Alone, but fine. In a cabin straight from a horror movie.
Bon, retour de la nuit.
Watch where you point that thing, Al.
Ah mais c'est la lumière qui le fait éternuer.
Stop it, Al! Stop it! You're giving me a migraine, Al. You know I'm useless with a migraine.
Not cool. Mais en vrai c'est pas ça. Putain, j'ai eu tellement peur. Série D, c'est comment? Je crois que c'est pas comme ça que ça marche normalement. Quoique, ouais, non, si c'est la sensibilité à la lumière qui peut trigger des éternuements. Mais genre de base, si on a envie d'éternuer et qu'on regarde la lumière, idéalement du soleil, ça aide à...
Real funny, Al. Real funny. Ha ha! Thank you. I'll just sit here in the dark till you come back.
Ça aide à éternuer. Non, non, mais c'est pas grave. C'est moi qui les ai mises, donc faut que j'assume. C'est juste que j'oublie entre-temps. C'est plus grand que ce que j'imaginais. Putain, en vrai, il est stylé le chalet. Genre, tu loues carrément tout le chalet avec un petit espace dehors, un petit barbecue et tout. Bon, faut voir combien ça coûte, mais... c'est stylé. Ah ouais, le petit jacuzzi. Surcoté de ouf les jacuzzis. Hein. Ou alors je suis jamais allé dans un vrai jacuzzi et que les vrais jacuzzis c'est incroyable, mais...
I'll wait here, Al. I'll hold down the fort. I'll be with you in spirit every step of the way, Al. Walk through the door now.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry. Barry had the keys to the car he rented. It wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest. I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Ça c'est vraiment ma spécialité. Hein. De rater les jumpscares parce que je suis en train de regarder ailleurs. Évidemment, tout est ouvert.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever see.
C'était quoi?
No. You just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety.
J'ai pas vu ce que j'étais censé voir encore une fois.
Tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly, Pat. But I'm gonna check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah, it's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape, though. You're the outdoors type. I know for a fact you're an avid fisherman.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a heck of a largemouth bass early this morning.
But you're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year. See, Pat, I'm just not that competitive anymore. Now I just like to take my time and enjoy the peace of it. It's no fun if I need to worry about what I'm catching, you know?
Considering your track record, the participants are probably pretty happy you feel that way.
Well, Pat, that's kind of you to say.
Bon, pour une fois que je me dis, je vais essayer de bouger pendant un fichier audio. Et il y a un trigger. J'ai même pas vu ce que c'était. Ça fait le slow-mo comme si j'évitais un coup. Mais du coup j'ai rien vu. Tant pis. Ouais, du coup les machins audio c'est chiant, faut vraiment rester à côté. Bon, celui-là je l'ai vu, en même temps je m'y attendais. Quoi? Ah. Heureusement la nuit est quand même vachement lumineuse ici. Oula. Pas l'air en très bon état cette maison. Ah yes. C'est trop bien, c'est genre enfin quasi exactement la même cabane qu'avant, mais en défoncé un peu. Ouais.
Crime and punishment.
Oula.
The cancer and cure of civilization.
Pourquoi il y a
But some crimes are impossible to punish.
des feuilles qui volent là?
In Night Springs. Tonight's episode. The Man in the Mirror.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. The white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
Bah ok. Quoi, c'est genre le reflet du gars qui est sorti et qui l'a tabassé à mort, c'est ça? Et là si je me retourne il va y avoir un miroir. Dommage. Elle était là avant cette tache de sang? Ok, très bien.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was.
Attends, Rusty c'est le gars qui est mort et Rose c'est qui? Ah oui, c'est la meuf qui est fan. Ok.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. "Mr. Wake, It happened just the way it was on that page.
What? Ah mais donc il est pas encore mort, Rusty?
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Début des embrouilles.
Rusty, damn.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me!
Est-ce que c'est une bonne idée d'aller par là-bas? Mais il est où? Ah merde, ça va prendre feu.
Hello?
Oula.
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Mais c'est lui, Rusty? Putain, je comprends plus rien.
Couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Attends. Ah non, c'est Stucky, le mec. Ils font chier, ils s'appellent tous pareil. Ok, donc Rose, elle était avec lui, du coup, Rusty. Ouais, ok. Qui, du coup, n'était pas encore mort au moment du... au moment où j'ai lu la page.
Shh, good boy.
Le yinche, il va mal finir aussi. Hein. Sûr et certain. Mais par contre, le truc électrique qui pendouille là, ça va mal finir, non? Tout qui va flamber. Ah mais il me demande d'allumer la lumière, ça va foutre le courant là-dedans et ça va tout...
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
J'avais même pas vu.
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
tâche dans le disjoncteur.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on. Rusty! Rusty! The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Je vais me faire attaquer là, non? Raté gros nul. J'avais oublié l'espèce de truc pétrole bizarre.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in
Ouais.
the wall.
Plus d'irch.
Don't feed the animals.
Oula.
Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park
fishing
license. Obey
the park ranger's instructions.
times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Never.
Don't go closer than 100 yards.
To bears and wolves, never approach any other wildlife closer than
25 yards.
pets must be leashed.
At all times.
Oh non.
Never leave your pet
Unattended.
It is
Against the law.
Oh.
to remove any
Natural objects.
or
Il m'a fait trop peur.
Grounds.
Quoi? J'ai évité.
this includes even you may or even simple berries.
Je suis pas très serein. Bah yes. Bon, la lumière c'est safe et normalement ça soigne. On peut pas aller là-bas? Peut-être pas le moment là. Si.
What the hell was that? I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Ça j'avoue, ce serait bien que la fumée nord du jeu fasse le même son que celle dans Lost.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Bah oui, mais bon. Peut-être que elle attendait que lui l'enlève. Hein. peut durer longtemps. Hein. Ouais, donc ça retourne là-bas. Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas un truc planqué derrière? Non. Son animation de course, elle est un peu ridicule. Attends, du coup, ah ouais, d'un niveau à l'autre, ouais, en même temps, on est passé au commissariat, mais... Genre, on perd les armes, quoi. J'aime pas les ponts. Chaque fois, c'est les embrouilles.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
C'est carrément pas une bonne idée de rentrer dans une grotte comme ça. Vu le contexte. Mais pourquoi pas, hein. Ah, c'est un rocher. Des bootleggers? C'est quoi des bootleggers? Ah oui, c'est des contrebandiers. Petit fusil. Putain, on fait peur. Oui, non, bah c'est bon, j'ai vu. J'ai vu une hache voler juste à côté de ma tête. Quoi? Super. Bon, on va pas trop traîner parce que c'est pas impossible qu'il repop de temps en temps. Évidemment, toujours aller à l'opposé. Pour les trucs bonus. Bon, là, je vais me faire attaquer, c'est sûr.
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart, too. Knew a lot about what was going on in the town. Knew a lot about Al. Even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
Les petites notes aiguës maintenues en fond, là. Pour la tension, ça marche toujours. Oula, je vais me faire attaquer là. C'est une zone d'attaque. Ça veut dire que c'est aussi une zone où je peux trouver des trucs. Peut-être, je sais pas en vrai. J'aime bien l'effet quand même, même si c'est pas rassurant, mais... Le vent et tout qui s'agite et tout. Ouais, il est solide lui. Quelqu'un derrière moi, je crois. Ça dégage. Pain de goulasse. Ok. Été frappé par la foudre. Effectivement. Ah mais là du coup techniquement enfin, les zones sont assez grandes en fait donc ouais non mais c'est bon, je t'ai entendu. Pas de soucis. Ils vont tellement vite par contre, c'est abusé. Ouf. Ouais. À plus. Ah mais j'oublie que je peux pas courir très longtemps. Putain, il vise bien. Il vise bien pour des esprits. Il vise tellement bien, genre il a anticipé là où j'allais quoi. Oh les bâtards. Ouf. Ok. C'est vrai que il a beaucoup d'ustensiles à me balancer dessus. Et alors là, si je reviens, est-ce que eux ils reviennent? A priori, oui. Bon. Ah. Problème. Ah mais au secours. Je vais partir du principe que s'il n'y a pas un chemin évident ou si je l'aperçois pas au loin, je fais comme s'il n'y avait pas de page de manuscrit. De toute façon, celles qui sont relativement importantes, elles sont en général sur la route, quoi. Donc je devrais pas en rater trop.
I turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason. Packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo. Things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more.
Je me souviens pas si à un moment on apprend qui laisse des trucs dans les... Ça se trouve c'est lui en fait, genre pendant son ellipse de plusieurs jours il a placé des trucs dans la forêt. En vrai ça serait logique vu que c'est lui qui a écrit le truc, enfin... Si on part du principe que c'est lui qui a tout écrit, il a sans doute tout setup. C'est des vraies suppositions parce que je me rappelle absolument plus du scénario. Je me rappelle vraiment que du début. pue la merde ici. Yes. En plus je me suis bien enfermé sur le côté, génial. Ah, je crois que je suis obligé de les affronter là, non? Ok, l'esquive n'a pas du tout marché, je vais crever. Mais... genre... c'est un peu difficile les esquives, je trouve. Genre ils sont vraiment rapides et ils ont une grande portée, du coup même en ayant le timing, ça marche pas toujours très bien. Heureusement que je suis en mode facile. What? Je pense qu'il est pas censé bouger comme ça. Soit c'est un bug, genre l'objet vient d'être chargé et du coup il a eu une inertie chelou. Soit c'est fait exprès, genre comme la balançoire qui bouge. Ce genre de truc. L'arbre d'empoignage. Ah d'accord. Marrant. Ça va peser giga lourd en vrai, non? Genre y'a rien. Tac. Nickel monument. Ok, on peut pas revenir en arrière. Le classique. Ah putain, il y a un téléphérique.
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job to do. He had a rider to catch, at any cost.
Ok, donc on a un agent, je suppose du FBI à notre os. Bonne ambiance. Ah non, mais les téléphériques ça tourne toujours mal. C'était dans quoi qu'il y avait une scène? Ah, c'était dans Until Dawn, je crois. entre autres. Ah oui, c'est là-bas qu'on doit aller. Bon alors, qu'est-ce qu'il va m'attaquer? Des piafs.
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares won't keep the bastards away.
Cette apparition de héros alors qu'il a une tête de cul.
You can see them too? Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move. Why? Because that's the way the story goes. Yeah, but... Let's move! I lost my gun back there. Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
Ah putain, mais j'ai plus de... Ah oui.
He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak.
C'est vrai.
There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, Wake! You better keep up. You set him up, and I'll knock him down, Wake.
Bon bah du coup je suis pas armé. Bonne ambiance. Ouais, j'en ai 6. Ah mais ça le lâche automatiquement.
That's what I got for ya.
Hop là. Ah oui, donc tu ne sais pas viser, trop bien. Et lui il peut pas se prendre de... Mais tire pas sur celui qui est... Putain qu'il est con. Il est passé où l'autre? Ok. Vu.
Lover's Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Super.
Yeah, no can do, Wake. Are you kidding? Give me the gun! No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it!
Bon, bah, plus le choix.
Just a little longer. Scare them off. Get some light on those bastards. That'll keep them off us.
Dure vraiment pas longtemps leur fusée. Hein.
Just a little longer. I almost got it. Okay, it's open. Move it or lose it.
On peut me le dire deux fois. Hein.
Like that, boy? Ah! Oh, you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe. Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
Bon, il casse les couilles, mais je suis sûr que c'est pas lui le ravisseur en vrai. C'est juste un trou de balle qui aime bien les armes. Un Trumpiste.
The last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming. Give me the goddamn gun. They're coming. That's not how this goes.
Oh les bâtards. Pourquoi je me fais chier à choper les thermos à chaque fois? Aïe.
That's right. You just need to stop moving. That's what I got for you.
Mhm.
This is a piece of cake, Wake.
Oula. Putain mais t'as pas fini lui abruti. Ah mais je crois qu'il tire là où je vise en fait.
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control. What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice? I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad. You touch her
C'est très intelligent ça.
You're gonna give me the manuscript or you'll be sorry! No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here! He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
Ah, il a littéralement semé des équipements.
On more than one occasion, Alice had tried to explain to me how it felt to be afraid of the dark. To her, darkness wasn't simply the absence of light, but something more tangible than that. It was something you could touch and feel. Worse than that, it was something with a mind of its own, something malicious and malign. For her, things changed when they were wrapped in darkness. They turned into something else, something foreign. And nothing was safe or innocent anymore. I'd never really understood what she meant, until now.
piège à loup et tout là. Je sais pas où je vais. C'est encore une mauvaise idée. Oh. Ah putain.
Rusty had warned me about these traps. I wouldn't want to get caught in one of them. Those teeth look nasty.
Super. Bon, bah, va falloir faire attention aussi où est-ce qu'on marche. Je suis sûr il va y en avoir pendant les poursuites aussi. En plus on les voit pas beaucoup. Enfin il y a le... Est-ce que ça clignote que quand je passe la lampe torche? Ouais, je crois bien. Ouais, ok. Ouais, il va falloir que je fasse attention. Il y en a vraiment partout, c'est débile. Oula. Ouais. Faut pas que j'oublie comment on peut souvent tomber.
Sarah didn't care about the legal threats Wake's agent had made. She let Wake go without argument, because there was something about him she couldn't quite put her finger on. Something that reminded her of her father. She didn't think Wake would hurt his wife. Then she thought about the way he waded into Hartman, that hair-trigger rage flaring up without warning.
Ah mais oui. À chaque fois je dois me demander, attends c'est qui Sarah, c'est qui machin et tout. C'est la shérif. Non, je suis censé aller là-bas. Point de contrôle, c'est-à-dire ça va être la merde. Ok, j'ai foncé droit dessus. Ah mais c'est ceux qui enchaînent plusieurs coups là. Casser les couilles. Ils sont trop fast. Alors attention à pas courir dans un truc. Ouais, effectivement. Lâche-moi toi. Hein. Hop là. Je sais pas si je dois faire le tour ou grimper là-dessus. Grimpons. Au moins là-dessus, non, je peux pas me faire attaquer. J'invente des règles. Bonjour. Ah, je me disais qu'il était pas seul. Je sais même pas si je le touche. Ok.
The night had been one desperate situation after another. I was exhausted, and my body felt as though it had been chewed up and spat out. The flashlight was heavy in my hand, and each pull of the trigger sent a painful shock up my arm. But I was finally out of the woods, and things were looking up. That's when I heard the chainsaw.
Super. Ok, bon, je pense qu'il va falloir que je me décide à utiliser la carabine un jour. Il y a un truc là, non? Non.
I had heard the plane fall.
Whoa.
It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here, but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
Ça me rappelle d'autres choses, ça. Est-ce qu'on va retrouver un prêtre nigérian et une cargaison d'héroïne? Pas du tout une bonne idée de monter dans un avion. Ah, et du coup, peut-être qu'en dessous, maintenant, il y a un truc que je peux ramasser. Pas du tout. Mais c'était cool. Ah oui, d'accord. Putain, mais ça va, ils pouvaient pas les planquer à un autre endroit, ces trucs? Tout ça pour ça. Il y a une espèce de respiration là qui me plaît pas trop. Pour être honnête. Bon bah c'était juste pour le... C'était juste pour le fun, ils ont mis un avion là. Il y a un effet chelou là-bas. Ok, donc on file des feux à bois et des armes, des munitions de fusil. Ça sent pas très bon. Tant que j'entends pas la tronçonneuse, je sors pas le fusil. Hein. Que ce soit bien clair. Il n'y en a pas un très grand là? Vite. 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 Ok. C'est traître parce qu'en plus il y a le slow motion juste avant là et du coup ça casse un peu le timing. Très bien. Oh, il y a un petit thermos de café là-haut. Je sens que je vais regretter, mais je vais aller le chercher. Je sais pas pourquoi je vais les chercher alors que je m'en fous clairement. C'est par là-bas? C'est ici que j'ai rendez-vous, je sais même pas. Atteindre le sommet du moulin à grains. Ok. On n'est pas vraiment à l'Overspeak là, c'est? Oula, oula, oula. Tranquille. Ouf. Ok, j'avais le temps en vrai. Je pense qu'il n'y a pas vraiment de... Oula, elles sont très très grosses ces caisses. Je pense pas qu'il y ait d'endroit où il faut vraiment speeder comme dans un Uncharted ou autre. Toujours pas entendu la tronçonneuse, hein. Est-ce une bonne idée? Ça va faire monter ça. Ah oui, il y a une lettre là-bas, j'avais pas vu. C'est donc une bonne idée.
When Barry saw the darkness attack the visitor center, it made him a believer. The men Al said he'd shot, they hadn't been just locals on crank. Somehow the world had changed, like the channel had been switched without warning. You think you're watching a sitcom, and you're really watching a horror show. When the birds started attacking the cabin, Barry wasn't surprised, just terrified.
Ok, donc du coup, ouais. Côté Barry, a priori, c'est la merde. En même temps, c'est la merde partout. Ah mais attends, mais du coup, ça c'est le bon chemin. Et quoi là-bas à gauche? Ah.
The logging site was a mess. The modular office had been pushed off the cliff. Deputy Thornton climbed up from the wreckage excited, breathing hard from the exertion. Nobody there. It's weird. Don't you think that's weird? Bored, Mulligan let out a mighty snort. Hell, it's always weird, Thornton. Just a question of sorting out what kind of weird it is this time around.
Ouais, c'est les deux gars qu'on avait entendus dans la radio de la police. Il y a un corbeau là. Oula. J'aurais peut-être dû tirer dans le corbeau. Ah non, c'est ça qui craque. Je crois que c'était le bruit d'un moteur de tronçonneuse. Ok. Les ténèbres portent son visage. Merde, c'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Son visage à qui? Encore des balles de carabine. Les caisses en escalier, c'est jamais anodin.
Shadows stirred and the wind picked up as I ran through the forest. I felt the dark presence turning its gaze toward me. Then the moonlight was blotted out by dark shadows that raced violently across the ground, moving too swiftly to be natural. Darkness gathered between the trees and melted again to reveal the Taken. No natural path had brought them here.
Ok. Ma foi, pourquoi pas, hein. Super. Ah, il y a eu un début de musique d'ennemi, j'ai l'impression. Merde, mais je me trompe de touche à chaque fois. Bon, après j'ai plein de torches, donc autant les utiliser, hein. Je crois qu'il en restait en haut dans le... Enfin en bas dans le truc comme ça là. Wow. Ok. Oh non. Ah bah voilà. Bonjour. vois rien. Ah ouais. Ça rigole pas le fusil. Hein. En même temps, on trouve vraiment très peu de munitions, donc c'est normal que ça fasse mal. Je sais pas où je suis parti là. Bon, ça doit être la fin du chapitre, je pense.
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
Mais c'est pas ici qu'il y avait le rendez-vous? Elle est où ma femme? Où est ma femme? Demande-t-il au garagiste. Je ne sais pas, lui dit le garagiste. Mais là, il y a plein de campeurs.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but at least I was out of the woods.
Ah mais du coup, il n'y a plus de rendez-vous là. Enfin, c'est plus le plan.
I'd have to get the car from the locked garage. It would get me back to Barry faster, and the headlights were a welcome bonus.
Tout à fait. Je suppose qu'il va falloir se battre pour avoir les clés. C'est quoi ça? Oh non, pas dans les chiottes.
The FBI agent's command froze me in place. I considered surrender. It was all falling apart anyway. I could give in, let someone else deal with it. But it felt all wrong. Call it instinct, his posture, the way he held the gun. He was no friend. Shots ringing in my ears, I leaped for the hole in the fence and stumbled into the darkness beyond.
Bah super.
I had to find the key to the garage.
En vrai, c'est étrange quand même comme choix de narration. Enfin, c'est... En même temps, c'est normal vu que le personnage est censé lire ces trucs, donc... Mais pour quelqu'un de relou comme moi, par rapport au spoil, c'est un peu étrange.
A story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own. You can create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing. The characters have to be true to themselves. The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone. The story dies. Alice dies.
Bah oui. Et merde, mauvaise touche. Genre, je vais pas me faire attaquer avant d'arriver là-bas. Étonnant. Oh non, il va pas y avoir une phase de conduite quand même. Incroyable. Mais... Allez, ça dégage. Ouais, Nick. Let's go. Les pleins phares et toi. Faut tourner. Je suppose qu'il faut tourner. Ah, on peut s'arrêter? Incroyable. Ah. C'était peut-être pas une très bonne idée. Bon, barrez-vous, je vais juste ramasser ça et je me casse. Allez, allez, cassez-vous. Je vois que dalle. Oula, oula, la caméra. La conduite est vraiment bizarre. Allez, dégage. Mais attends, mais on est censé remonter là? On n'a pas fait que monter depuis tout à l'heure? Bon, j'ai certainement raté plein de trucs là, mais... Ah oui, je me rappelle d'ici. Bah oui, forcément. Il se passe quoi là?
The flare gun was probably the best weapon I could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Nick. Nick. Plus de piles. C'est pas toujours très intuitif les combinaisons de touches qu'ils nous demandent de faire, mais bon. Fait avec. Pas trop traîner parce que mine de rien j'ai que 25 balles.
It was the kidnapper.
You son of a bitch! Where's my wife?
Enough horse.
Ma femme.
You deliver the manuscript and you can have your woman back.
Ah donc c'est bien lui.
I don't... Listen. Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need... a week.
It's not done?
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me?
Yes, yes, I get you.
2 jours, c'est pas énorme comme délai. Ah oui, effectivement, les oiseaux... un petit peu pété un câble.
Barry talked about birds over the phone.
Très bien. Putain, mais il va encore y avoir des embrouilles. Ouais, il y en a vraiment beaucoup quand même.
Al! Al, I am so glad you're here. A couple of them got in here before I blocked the chimney. This isn't normal. These birds are weird.
Bah ouais, je confirme. Quoi? Oh putain. C'est eux que je dois attaquer ou... Oh nice. Aïe. Plus de piles. C'est vrai que je peux mettre ça pour me défendre en vrai. En vrai j'ai genre 20 piles et je veux pas les utiliser quoi. C'est terrible. C'est vrai que j'ai lance-fusée aussi. Nice. Oui. On va pas en abuser non plus. Effectivement. Bon, faudra que je regarde au prochain chapitre si mes armes sont conservées. Si c'est pas le cas, faut vraiment pas que j'hésite à tout cramer à chaque fois parce que...
Hey, Al. I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Barry Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
Bye now.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the Oh Dear
Diner.
Good girl.
Come here. Pretty please, can you tell me where I am? You want to say something? I need to get my
Bon, sale ambiance la fin. Bon du coup clairement la vieille avec le voile noir là, c'est plus ou moins l'incarnation des ténèbres quoi. Parce qu'il y avait le message qui disait les ténèbres portent son visage et tout, et là, voilà quoi. Ça aurait été bien qu'ils poussent le truc à fond et qu'on ait un générique à chaque fois.
Previously on
Non. Comment on quitte?
Alan Wake.
Non. Ah voilà. Merde, j'espère que ça a sauvegardé. Bon, je pense que ça a sauvegardé. Au pire, il y a toujours moyen de... Ouais. De choisir manuellement. Bon, et ben il s'est passé encore pas mal de trucs. Au final, chaque épisode prend à peu près 2 heures. Bon, je joue lentement, j'attends devant tous les dialogues, je fouille partout, donc ça pourrait être moins long, mais en vrai, je trouve ça pas trop mal comme ça.